All right, everybody, I'm doing another video. Apparently, like, I get pretty good feedback on the videos, so that is awesome. Thank you, guys. I try to be as informative as possible on what things might come up, what problems you might run into, even little tricks that I should have did initially that would have made my job a lot easier. Currently, right now, the project is that we're working on is I wanted to put an underglow on my Jetta. So I went ahead and ran all of the LED strips. I did purchase 4 2-foot LED strips. You can find them on eBay. They're waterproof. Shipping quality is really good, and the overall speed, I was very impressed with that. Some of the places I did put them, I have one on each side of the car, one in the back under the bumper. I will actually show you them after I do the walk around. I have one under the front bumper, just behind the front lip, and then I went a little further with it and I put 2 12-inch ones behind each part of the grill here, so then my grill will light up red as well. Initially I did one, but when you center it, there's actually plastic behind here, so there was only like this much red and it was really faint. So I decided that I was just gonna put 2 in there to brighten it up, and then the one underneath the front, I mean, they're just your basic generic LED strips. I don't know if you can see the one. Yep, right there. I, however, did not, I mean, you peel off the paper and it sticks. One of the things I found with doing it is if you run a bead of super glue along it, the gel form, it'll stay. On these, I'll actually put a stick tab. I don't know if you can see it that well. And then I put a screw through it to hold it, and zip tied that end, as well as leather stripped it. As far as the sides, there's not a whole lot of area to really do it. And I was really trying to refrain from having the drill into the car itself. So let me turn the light this way. So what I did on the side is you'll have a hole here and one up further and one in the back. They're actually just bolts. They're a 10mm bolt. You can unbolt that. The whole bolt won't come out the whole way because I don't know if you can tell. There's that little piece here that holds the bolt in so you don't lose it, which is actually a pretty ingenious idea. So what I did was I loosened all 3, and then this whole plastic piece just kind of pops down. These will stick, but where I live we get snow, so I don't want to run the chance of eventually it just giving loose and flopping around underneath the car and everything. So what I did was I made some small holes, one on each side of the strip, ran a zip tie through to where the actual tie end is on the inside, and then brought my wiring out. This hole here is already here. And once you have this down, you'll actually see a rubber plug underneath here that if you pull the factory carpet out, I'm sorry, you just run a drill down through that and you can feed your wire right up and into the car. Some of the options I were thinking were like right along the rocker panel, but like I said, I really didn't want to drill into the body of the car or even the frame. So I figured if I make a couple small holes in plastic, I would be okay at the end of the day with that. Other side is identical to this one. I also put one at the end, and another one up front. I think I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 on a 2-foot section. Now as far as the back, that one was a little trickier, and I'll tell you why. For the simple fact that on the back of the Jettas, it would look like you have a decent platform to actually go with it, but I didn't want it to be seen from behind the vehicle, or even if you would crouch down at all. So one of the issues I ran into was, I don't know if you can really see it, there's nowhere flat for it to go. So then I had to basically improvise, and let me see if I can get the camera up. I undid that Torx bit, this one, and the one over here, and that gave me room to be able to flex the bumper down, to be able to run it along the flat part of the bumper, which is a straight shot from this actual opening here to where the light will come down and hit the ground. I did test it. It actually hits the ground pretty good. It's actually really bright. Brought my wire down, and this is like a plastic boot or a plastic plug. I did make an incision, ran my wire loom through there. It comes out in the trunk, so you'll just have to pull up the carpet in the trunk. So in all, the sides were probably the fastest part doing the whole installation. The back took a little bit, for the simple fact that I had to figure out where I was going to go with it, and what the best angle would be. Up front went pretty quick. I actually just tied the grill lights in with the front underglow light, so I essentially only had to run one wire in. Ran my power and my ground also in at the same time. And now we're at the fun part of just wiring up the switches, or wiring up the switch, sorry. I'm gonna have one switch for the whole operation. I don't really foresee myself driving with them on a ton. Maybe more of a sit and show type thing, or if I'm sitting in a parking lot, you know, I'll turn them on. I may actually drive with them on, depending upon, you know, if there's a lot of police out, I probably won't. But anyway, I will show you how I did do the switch though, before I pause the video and continue doing my work on it. I don't know if you can really see it, but that is how I mounted the switch. Just used a hole saw, went down through. There's nothing in here electronic wise that you're gonna mess up when you drill into it with the hole saw. This side, there's actually this whole system underneath here. There's wiring and different electrical components, so I decided to stay away from that side. If you're wondering, the top switch is actually for my response light for the fire department I'm with. It's actually a 2-position switch. The first one, it's all blue, and then if I get back into the second position, it goes to blue-white. This switch here is just an on-off illuminated red switch. I figured I'd rather have an illuminated red switch in case they are on and I don't know that they're on, and then get pulled over because I don't have one that's illuminated. So I'm gonna pause the video. I'll pick it back up when I'm done. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you. Both side panels pop off pretty easy. There is one hex screw and then everything pops off. So this is basically going to be my whole wiring junction. My ground I already have here, my power I already have here, and my hot coming in for the front lights. So I'm going to marry up all these wires and then put everything back together and put the fuse in the power supply and power it up and see how we look from there. All right, now that I got everything done, I did run into an issue. The one LED that I had on the driver's side, after everything was wired up and came time to put power to the switch, I was almost certain when I checked them, all the LEDs worked, but apparently this one was not working. Maybe there was just something in with the wiring. When I did take it apart, the one solder connection on the actual LED strip wasn't quite connected right, so I'll end up taking that and resoldering it, and it should start working again. But that being said, the 2-foot LED strip that I had in the rear, I moved that up to the driver's side, and luckily I still had a 1-foot LED strip that I could just put in the rear. So I'm going to turn them on. Currently it's dark out, so right now I just have the parking lights on. Probably just shut those off and do just a walk around with them on, and then I'll shut them off. But so overall, I mean, it didn't come out bad. It definitely has its own personality. And a loud truck going by, hang on. So, I mean, it definitely makes it stand out on its own, which is something I was going for. It definitely looked cool. Sitting in a parking lot or whatever. So now that I did a walk around with the lights on, I'll go ahead and shut them off and let you see what it looks like without them. Now, I do have the flash on my phone, just so it's not super dark and all you see is red, but it definitely, I mean, they light up for the quality of the light, with them just being an actual LED strip. They definitely light up. It's definitely noticeable that it has undercar lighting. So, I mean, it's all about trying to stand out and go your own way with your car. So, like I say in all my videos, if you got any questions, comments, want to know how I did something, even are just curious or have a question if you should do something similar or take it a different way, feel free to ask. Always down to give suggestions and answer any questions. I'll normally get back to you within like a day or so. Typically is my average time in like responding to people. If you're not subscribed and you have a Jetta, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There are more things to be coming as far as video uploads, things that are going to be getting done to my Jetta here in the next couple months. So it would definitely be worthwhile to subscribe. And even if you don't have a Jetta and you're just into lighting, feel free to subscribe. I'm always doing some sort of lighting, and hopefully it could help you out. There's going to be probably a custom stereo install coming here probably around summer, I'm thinking maybe. I got to do the draw up of everything, but that's a whole other video. I'm going to eliminate the wheel well and make that my actual box, and possibly have two 12-inch subwoofers just flush mounted. A lot of people ask me if there's noticeable performance with the charge pipe and blow-off valve. About the same. Throttle responses, putting the intake on. At this point, I really don't think I'm going for overall speed and fastness. I think I'm going to take it the way of just show cleanliness and just go the route of show with it. But there is a tune in the works, so I mean, it won't be all show. It definitely will have a little get up to it, but I mean, it is actually only a 1.4, so I don't know how much performance. I haven't done a whole lot of research on how crazy you can make these things as far as performance and just how fast you can make them. I did hear that doing a chip or a tune will definitely make a significant impact on how the car drives, and it adds horsepower, so that's probably going to be my next step, as well as lowering it. Probably going to put the wheels on here soon, but enough chit chat. Like I say, if you have any questions, feel free, hit the subscribe button. Always looking for subscribers. And if you have a question, feel free to ask, and I will get back to you within a day. Thanks for watching.